Hey y'all, how's it going? Welcome to my guest room, which is apparently the only room I use to like film and think and garden. So today is a weird day because our power grid in Texas like told everyone to conserve energy and turn your AC way up and like turn off anything that had a battery or used electricity. And so to try and do my part, I turned our house up. That's why I'm like tank top and shorts and I look a little grubby. And I shut all the blinds and just trying to keep the house dark and conserve as much energy as we can. Because the power grid didn't learn anything in February when everything iced over and we lost power. Apparently we didn't do anything about that for the last 4 months, but it's fine. I'm fine. Fine. So, what I did as an activity was I went through all of my seeds that I keep in this super cool organized container. Please be better than me. And I actually pulled out all of the seeds that I can grow in the fall. Been joined by our Great Dane Mastiff mix, Lana. So I thought as a nice activity that did not involve electricity, I would go through all of my seeds and pull out whatever I can grow in the fall. Now, in Texas, especially where we're at, it's still pretty hot all the way through September, and it usually doesn't start cooling down until about October. So I definitely have to plan for that. That means that I cannot grow any like tender lettuces probably until like October, November. But there's plenty of other things that you can grow when it's still pretty warm out. So I'll probably plant these things out around September 1st, September 15th. I really wanted to rethink my fall garden this year. So last year my fall garden was full of broccoli and Brussels sprouts that never ended up doing anything. But lots of broccoli. My kale and my collards didn't do very well. And my bush beans were great. But at the end of the day, my spring and summer garden is very much stuff that we eat all the time. We eat tons of peppers, we eat tons of tomatoes, you know, we eat tons of salsa and all of that stuff. Melons, cucumbers, we eat all of that stuff, which is great, but my fall garden I haven't really nailed down yet. I would really love to focus this year on leafy greens and root vegetables. Now I know some gardeners who do both of these things quite amazingly, but they're just things that keep on giving, keep on producing through the cold weather that you just get a lot of volume from. My girl. What are you gonna do now? Okay. Okay. So I really want to think about like things that we eat and things that we can get a high volume of, because I feel like the summer garden is very showy. The summer garden is all about like these big plants with these big leaves and these big fruits, whereas I feel like the fall and winter garden is much more about like volume and getting a lot of the things. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about it this year. Now, I might not plant all of the varieties that I'm going to show you. This is just what I pulled out because this is what I have. Now, it might seem kind of early. It's only July, but I like to start my seeds indoors so that I have nice, healthy plants to start with, and that means I have to start them 8 weeks in advance. So if I'm planning on starting or planting out on September 1st or September 15th, that means I need to start my seeds within the first 2 weeks of July. So we are seed starting. So the way that I do this is I categorize my seeds, which I should just keep them categorized all the time, but I don't. So I categorize my seeds into flowers, beans, lettuces, dark leafy greens, root vegetables, and brassicas. Those are the breadth of things that I will be growing this fall. So we will start with brassicas. which I haven't actually decided everything that I'm going to be starting. I still have to decide that. But there is cabbage. This is Chinese cabbage. This is Waltham broccoli. So I grew this last year. It was super tasty. Really, really like the Waltham broccoli. Golden Acre cabbage. Red Rock Mammoth cabbage. Long Island improved Brussels sprouts, which, y'all, I have never had luck with Brussels sprouts. There are people that grow them at the community plot, and I don't know how they do it. I really don't get it. And then there is Snowball Cauliflower. Have not grown cauliflower. Cauliflower doesn't do anything for me, to be honest, and it just feels like another one of those plants that takes up a lot of room and doesn't actually yield that much. Brunswick cabbage. So another cabbage. And then these are some seeds I got in a seed swap that are from Hudson Valley Organic Seed Company, and they are green sprouting Calabrese broccoli. Now I did grow Calabrese broccoli last year. I didn't do that great. I don't know why. So that covers all the potential brassicas that I could grow. Again, haven't made a final decision on what I'm going to grow, especially for brassicas, because I just have limited room. So if I'm talking about like production, that becomes a different story. However, I've thought about doing the brassicas in my grow bags that my tomatoes are in right now. And I feel like that would be a good place for them, because you could just put like 1 or 2 plants in each, and then they just have their own dedicated space. And they're not taking up anyone else's room. So we will go over to the root vegetables next. Now these I'm pretty excited for. I did realize that I don't like beets. So I have some beets seeds. I have Detroit dark red beets. That's what these guys are. And then bull's blood beets. Now, y'all, I'm just not that much of a beet gal. They taste like dirt, okay? I like putting my hands in the dirt, but I don't like eating dirt. And actually, they taste like that because they have a chemical compound in them called, it's not gypsum, something that sounds like gypsum. And it's the same smell that you have after it rains, where it smells like earth. Same thing. That's why they taste like dirt. So, but I do want to try and grow some beets, just because I like beet greens. So we'll see, TBD. These are Early Wonder tall top beets from a seed swap. And then the one beet that I'm definitely going to be growing like 100% are these Touchstone golden beets. So golden beets are much sweeter. They don't have the same chemical compound that makes them taste like dirt. So if you don't like beets but you want to try and grow beets, grow golden beets. And then for radishes, we have Cherry Bell radishes. I did love these last year, so these will definitely have a place in my garden. French breakfast radishes will also have a place in the fall garden this year. And then these are another one I got in a seed swap. These are Pink Beauty radishes. That is, I will be growing those just for fun to kind of see what the deal is there. Now, one thing that I really want to grow as far as a root vegetable, I just have to make sure I'm good at it, are rutabagas. So rutabagas are really good mashed. I've eaten them this way at least 1 or 2 times, and I really like them, and they're really healthy for you. It just provides some variety in your diet. So we're definitely going to be growing rutabagas. These are American purple top rutabagas. And then we have parsnips. These are Harris model parsnips. That's what these are. So we'll be growing parsnips as well. And then turnips. So I have some purple top white globe purple, and 7 top. I don't know how I just combined those two together. I'm going to try and grow some turnips as well, just to have some additional root veg. And then carrots. I really want to grow carrots. I love eating carrots and I love cooking with carrots, especially like soups and stuff like that. So I got a carnival blend of carrots to try. So I'm excited to try and grow some colorful carrots. But in terms of just regular old carrots, I have Tender Sweet, Danvers, and Scarlet Nance. So those are all pretty like standard carrot varieties to grow. They're just your standard carrots. And then this I got as a free seed. These are early purple Vienna kohlrabi. And they kind of taste like cabbage. Like, kohlrabi is cool. It's different. I'm gonna grow it for fun. Not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm gonna grow it. So that takes care of all the root vegetables that I will be growing this fall. I'm really excited about root vegetables. I want to get good at root vegetables. We'll see if that can happen. Dark leafy greens. These do really well in Texas. They live through like basically the whole winter until it like gets real cold in February, but by then you're kind of looking forward to spring anyway. So I have blue curled Scotch kale and dwarf Siberian kale, both of which I grew last year. On the kale line, we have lacinato or dinosaur kale. Pretty excited about that one. These seeds I actually got for our very close friends, actually my boyfriend's family, that are our very close friends. They started a garden this year and I went through all of my seeds and I sent them a bunch of seeds and that's how they've started their garden this year, and it is like the most fulfilling thing I've done in a very long time for friends is help them start their garden, and they're so excited and they're doing so well. And they're in a completely different zone than I am. They're in zone like 5. I'm in zone 8B, which is basically 9. So the other kind of kale is this purple moon kale. Now, I'm really wanting to focus on dark leafy greens as well as root vegetables this year because those are things that we eat. And so this Japanese giant red mustard, now I actually don't like mustard, but I throw a couple plants in my garden as sacrifices, which sounds terrible. I just don't love mustard greens. They're really good for you. I just can't find a way to cook them that I like them, but I always put some mustard greens in my garden as a sacrificial plant because the plants will chew on those, or the bugs will chew on those instead of chewing on my other plants. And then I also have some Swiss chard, again a nice dark leafy green that you can harvest a lot of, and finally my Bloomsdale spinach. I enjoyed the heck out of this spinach, and I actually just ordered another pack of a different type of spinach from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange that specializes in seeds for the South. I'm so excited to grow this. My boyfriend loves spinach. I love spinach. We just like could not get enough of it last year. So super pumped about this. And that takes care of all of the dark leafy greens that I will be putting in my garden. The next thing that I'm super freaking excited about, that I am excited to grow and we eat a lot of, are beans. So I ordered some pole beans from, again, Southern Exposure Seed Exchange that climb. So I'll have pole beans that are climbing up my arch trellises, and then these are bush beans. So these are Empress beans that I got in a swap. And then I have some Burpee stringless beans. I've planted these before. These are a good one to plant. And oh man, I just lost my light. And then Blue Lake bush beans. These are like a very standard type of bush bean. And then the Royal Burgundy bush beans, so the ones that are purple. I love these. I don't know why. I love the way they look in the garden. They're pretty, they're purple. It's great. So I'm losing my light, so I better go a lot faster. So lettuces. Now I really want to try and grow lettuces, but lettuces are tough to grow until it gets cool enough here in Zone 8B. So I probably will not even sow my lettuce seeds until at least October, if not November. I think that's the key to lettuce here in this part of the country. So I have iceberg lettuce. Everybody knows what iceberg lettuce is. A ruby red lettuce, and I am going to try to grow these as head lettuces, not necessarily as like baby greens. This is called black seeded Simpson, so we're going to be growing that one. We have just a little gem lettuce. I think there's only a few of these. Butter crunch lettuce. So butter crunch is a really just good, tasty green, like almost romaine type lettuce. This is just a Messlin blend. It's just a chef's medley. And then this is a Rouge d'Hiver lettuce, so it's a red romaine lettuce. And again, I'll be growing all of these as head lettuces, not necessarily baby greens. And then another Rouge d'Hiver romaine. So that takes care of all of the lettuces that I will be growing. And then last but certainly not least are flowers. So I really love growing flowers, which was very unexpected. I did not expect to love growing flowers as much as I have ended up loving growing flowers. I really see so many benefits in growing flowers alongside your vegetables and having the whole system, because the more flowers you have, the more pollinators you have, and flowers also tend to like detract pests, and honestly it just makes gardening a lot prettier. I love seeing my first flower. I had an illumination pink zinnia come up the other day, and I just went to the plot and it just made me happy. And the other thing that I love growing that I haven't gotten yet this year, which I'm just being impatient, are any sunflowers. So I loved growing sunflowers last year. It was so fun. I loved it. It was really great. The only problem is in Texas we have big bugs, very big bugs. So I planted my sunflowers, and then I noticed these like brown bugs, and they're people call them stink bugs. I'm sure they have an actual name. I think they might be leaf-footed bugs, but they're gross. They're really big and they're brown, and they mate on your plants, and they use their little piercing mouth parts to like suck out tomato juice, and it makes me viciously angry. And then they breed on your plants, and then you have a bunch of little baby gross bugs crawling around everywhere, and it's gross. So they are not beneficial insects. I hate them. So I did not grow any sunflowers in my plot this year, which truthfully I'm missing them a lot. So I'm planning on growing some, you know, in the fall. Basically I will rip out all of my tomatoes in the tomato bed, and I'm not going to replant that bed with a vegetable probably until October or September. So what I'm actually going to do is have just a big bed of sunflowers, and so different sunflowers that you can grow, because sunflowers are heat-loving plants. So different sunflowers that you can grow while you're kind of transitioning from it's too hot to grow anything in August to, okay, I can finally grow something now, like mid-September or October. These are the different sunflowers that I'll be growing. So we just have your standard mammoth sunflower. These are the big kids. And then this is a Florist Sunny Bouquet that I'm kind of obsessed with. I don't know why the thought that you could just get any of these is like very exciting to me. And then these are Dwarf Sunspot sunflowers. So these would be like a cutting sunflower, and they only get, I think it's like, yeah, it's like 1.5 to 2 feet tall, which for a sunflower is very short. Usually your sunflowers are going to be anywhere from, I don't know, 8 to 12 feet at least. And then I have some more Mammoth Grays, and then here's just another sunflower mix. This is the mix that I ordered when I planted out my grandma's sunflowers, and this has all different kind of seeds in it. So I've got tons of sunflower seeds. I definitely won't use all of them, but I'm excited to kind of have that transition from, you know, hot summer into fall. I'm still gonna have something growing that's really, really beautiful. And then the other things that I'll be growing in terms of flowers are marigolds. So I have some Bambino marigold seed left. I think that might have been the only marigold seed I had left. I'm pretty low on those. And then just to kind of keep with some fall colors, I've got the Meteor Zinnia. I've grown these quite a few times. The El Dorado, these are an orange type of zinnia. And then these don't have a picture, but I can't say enough good things about these Canary Birdsenias. They're the most beautiful color yellow. It's not an obnoxious yellow. It's not too bright. It's not a mustard. It's just like a very warm, sunshiny yellow. You know what it is? It's the color of a sunflower. It's the color of that deep sunflower gold that like, oh, I just love it so much. And then I did get some other zinnia mixes. I got some other zinnia mixes. These are California Giant zinnias. And then we have a Fireball blend of zinnia. So nice, big, and bright. And then a Persian Carpet blend of zinnias. Now, one thing that I'm going to do with my flowers in the fall, which I didn't do in the spring, and I think I'll do this moving forward, I did not realize you could start zinnias inside. I don't know why, I just thought they had to be direct sown. And I've seen so many people start their zinnias inside, like 4 weeks before you put them out, and just plant them, and then you're 4 weeks ahead. Which, I don't know why for flowers feels like you're really far ahead. Lana, you're so fired. You're so fired! Can you just lay down? What if you just laid down? My seeds were nicely organized. Till Chief Wrecking Ball came around. Oh my god, you're stepping all over my seeds! Why are you like this? R.I.P. to my seed organization. But Cooper did come join us. So like I was saying, I really want to start as many flowers as I can inside for the fall, just to kind of give me that jump start. So we'll see how that goes. TBD. It's going to be a bit of an experiment, but I am getting excited for the fall garden, even though it's like literally over 100 degrees outside right now. I'm excited for the fall garden. You know, fall gardening is so much different than spring and summer gardening, especially in a hot climate. You know, when you're in a hot climate, spring and summer gardening is truly hellacious. I mean, there is no nice way to say that. Spring gardening is nice. Summer gardening is hot and awful and miserable. July will be the last month of the summer that I garden. To me, it's not worth it to garden when it's over 100 degrees every single day. It's just not worth it, so I don't do it because I don't have to. So thanks so much for sitting down with me, guys. I know this was a bit of like an impromptu sit down. I'm obviously very just like warm and I feel gross because my house is hot because like this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you would like to see more. I put out regular videos every Friday, and sometimes like this video I'll put out a bonus video, but it's never too early to start thinking about your next season and start organizing and planning. I find that it really gives me the inspiration to like get through the final push of the season that you're currently in, which for me right now is gross, nasty, sweaty, sunburned, buggy summer. So, thanks so much for watching, and happy gardening.